Hey, I'm Hannah and I work for Belvista Studios. Today I would love to share a learning that we've had this week. It's around active recall for memory, and basically it's a really great way for your learner to be able to pull the information that they need in the moment that they need it. So when you think about learning solutions, often the learner will have to read through content, they'll have to memorize definitions, and they'll have to just basically go through all of the information that they need to know. When you think about the learner being in that learning experience and then potentially having to use that learning, say 6 months down the track, often it can be difficult for the learner to be able to pull the information that they need in that moment. So, how do you create a learning solution that allows your learner to be able to successfully grab the information that they need when they need it from that learning experience? So, here at Belvista Studios, we've come up with some really awesome ways that you can incorporate this into your learning solution. So there's 3 ways that I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I hope it adds value to your craft and what you do and how you create your learning solutions. So the first one is to create learning solutions that involve realistic scenarios. So when you're going through content with your learner and you're sharing information with them, rather than just having really generic points on what they need to know, it's a really great idea to sort of mold this information into real life scenarios that they're going to be using or that they will be able to activate or tap into when they're on their day-to-day job. So an example of this is, say you had to teach your learner top customer service techniques. So option A, you could have your learner read through a booklet on what's the best ways to portray customer service. Or option B, you could have the learner, say, read a few points about customer service and the top tips for customer service, and then have them be involved in a simulation or a scenario that would actually be relevant to their day-to-day life. So it could be you've answered the phone, a customer's really angry about a product that they've received because the quality isn't right. Using the customer service tips that you've learned, how are you going to respond to them? So that's the first way, using scenarios that are realistic to really enable your learner to be able to recall concepts in the right context for them. Number 2 is to have open group discussions. So when your learner learns certain concepts, a really great way for them to be able to practice the concepts that they've learnt and really apply it to their situation and comprehend it really well is for them to be able to discuss it with others. So after a learning solutions happen, you could book in a group discussion or just have it at the end of a training course where the learners talk about what they've learnt and really practice talking about the concepts and making it real for them. So that's number 2, group discussions. Number 3 is quizzes. So a great way to test your learner after a learning solution is to have them answer questions. And yes, you can have them answer questions that are direct from the information that they've learnt, but to step it up a notch and to really allow your learner to actively recall information in the future could be to create questions that are slightly different to how they're portrayed in the information. So to select different scenarios and have the concepts play out in a variety of different ways that the learner could use. This way, in the real world, when the learner is needing that knowledge that they're used to and are able to apply the concept to a range of different scenarios because they've been able to activate their brain for that concept in the past and they're able to more easily do it when they're in the moment. So that's number 3. So number 3 is to use quizzes and to make sure that the questions are slightly different to what the content is, just to encourage your learner to activate their brain and see that concept in a variety of different ways and across a variety of contexts. So that's the 3 tips that we have for active recall. Active recall is so important in learning. When you think about a learning solution, the whole intent is for your learner to change their behaviour after that experience. And basically active recall is a way that your learner can pull the information that they need when they need it, rather than just reading through content and trying to memorise content in a course and not necessarily being able to use it later on in life or whenever they need it in a certain situation. So that's our video on active recall. I hope that it added value to you, and I would also love to hear if anyone out there is using different techniques to enable their learners to remember things after courses. yeah, I'd be really interested, and we're going to keep doing research on how we can best support that for learners. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.